And we're live.
There we are. We're back. Hey, welcome. And did we make it? We're just a few minutes late. I'm very sorry. My fault. I was at a physician recruitment symposium and drove very fast from the Shrine Club to get here. So we'll talk all about that today too. But it's great. You've been having a real busy week too.
Yeah, busy running around doing a lot of production stuff. We've got the pitch, which is coming up tomorrow. It's a sold out event for the business community. It's kind of like a Dragon's Den style event that the EBRC puts on. And that's going to be at the St. Anne's Centre tomorrow night. So I'm running the AV for that. So it's going to be quite epic.
Yes.
And then before that even, we're both going to be at the Downtown Development Board's annual general meeting
in the morning
at the Arts Centre.
Right. For those of you who are early waker-uppers, that's where we are. What else? We got Groundhog Day to talk about. We've got
on Sunday coming up.
We've got a pre-budget consultation we shared with the minister today. I've got the agenda from last night.
Yep.
We've got Soup's on.
Yes.
Let's talk about it first.
Okay.
So Soup's on is February 6th at the St. Anne's Centre. $8 advanced or $10 that day at the door. Local restaurants and other great cooks making soup as part of the contest. And it's a great fundraiser for Heart and Stroke. And I've been a judge here a number of times. I don't think it's consecutive. I think I've missed a year or two in there, but lots of fun. I love soup in the wintertime. It's
the best.
What's your favorite?
Stuff. What's your favorite soup in the wintertime?
I make a great hot and sour soup, like a Thai type soup. And other than that, anything chicken noodle-ish is just fine with me.
Okay.
Right? So I get real fancy at one end, and the rest, just put chicken in a pot. The chickens you buy at the grocery store, the already cooked chicken.
Yeah,
there's always about half of one of those left in my fridge. And I go, I can make soup, and I cut that up and we make soup. So Soup's on February 6th. I understand Councillor Gibson's with me there too.
Fantastic, love Councillor Gibson.
Yep. Pre-budget consultation, a pretty busy day around town today with Minister Bethman Foley, the finance minister of the province, here this morning at a breakfast with Minister Flack, and a number of the room was packed. And then they went out and made a few announcements, a very good agriculture announcement today out in East Elgin. And then met with the parliamentary secretary, or what are they? Parliamentary assistant for the Minister of Finance at the Queso station for pre-budget consultation. They asked all the municipalities and charitable groups and not-for-profits to come and give information. So the St. Thomas, we did that today, and your press release will go out on this tomorrow, but there's two.
It's out. They already put one out.
Oh, did it? All right, great.
So they talked about the three main points you talked about, like healthcare, sharing.
Yes. And the tax assessment, we need to get sharper at how we assess new industries. And as we're attracting some pretty big industries right now, we want to make sure what we make their first tax bill to be accurate, right? So that's the first step, is working through impact to do that.
Right.
But in many cases in the past, large industries in our country, or in our province at least, have asked for a reassessment of their taxes after a couple of years.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, taxes that have been given to the local community, and it's happened to many around us, have to pay back. So we're asking for it. Reassessment is perfectly fine. If your business has changed, your model has changed, part of your factory has changed, then we'll do a reassessment. But it's not backward. It's forward thinking. The day we say, yes, that's your new assessment, that's the new taxes you start paying. We think that's easier on communities not to have to guess, have they picked it right. So we think both of those things, really nothing to do with the finance minister, except he controls those rules. Right. So we're asking him to help us with that. We talked about policing and the costs of policing and how they're going up, and how even the OPP really raised the rates of all of our smaller municipalities around us that are covered by OPP. And then the province said, yeah, you're right, that went up too fast. So they cushioned them back and gave each of those municipalities a little bit of a return on what the OPP increase was.
Right.
And the rest of us said, hey, what about us? We still paid higher policing this year. It's a costly piece to send cadets to college and to outfit them and buy, right? So
was
anyway,
it 30% over 5 years?
Pardon?
30% over 5 years? Is that a number?
It's really I don't fault it at all. In a growing community like ours, we have to grow our police service, and we've got a great team. They're working hard, and we kind of still got that in our budget this year and kept our budget at 3.9. So we felt pretty comfortable. But could you keep an eye on it, Minister? Because policing is becoming another one of these things that's getting more costly. And then another one is we were caught a couple times in the last year of other organizations, mostly the health unit, but also our conservation authorities. They get to levy, which means they get to do their budget and then share that among the communities that they serve.
Right.
Well, St. Thomas is a large part of both Kettle Creek, Catfish Creek, and of course the Southwest Public Health. And so when we do a budget and it's about 2.5% in past years, and then the health unit comes forward with a budget that's twice that or 3 times that, we haven't budgeted for that. So now we've got to scramble in the middle of a year to find that. So we've asked the minister, what's our obligation? We want to play with these groups and make them whole. But is there a way we could appeal if we feel that the amount they're asking for is too much in 1 year? Or can we defer it into the next year? So we asked the minister, we gave the minister that thing today. And that's truly what we asked for. Many other groups are asking for all sorts of other stuff. Our hospital was there today. Yeah. And we were really talking a lot. I met with Karen, the president of the hospital, on Monday, and what was supposed to be about an hour meeting in the morning turned into much more than that, because we really talked about what's the future of the hospital, how will it grow, at what point do we need a new hospital with the growth of our community, at what point has St. Thomas become bigger than our hospital can handle. And so we know that the municipalities in Elgin have to talk a lot about this. We're also getting a lot of patients out from London. You and I've talked about this before.
And they said their report was like 10% of the patients into Steg were from London.
Right. Now, some of them are look, all of that is good. Everybody who needs healthcare should get it. It's like our homelessness. Everybody who's not housed deserves a home. So let's work towards it. But let's work collectively together on it.
And covering the costs.
Yep. So that was the finance minister's pre-consultation today, and I feel pretty good that St. Thomas is being asked for its opinion on a lot of this stuff. So,
well, St. Thomas is coming up in the news a lot. A lot of people are talking about it, which is it's fun.
All right with us.
When I was growing up, I never heard about St. Thomas on the news, and now I tune into everything, and someone's talking about St. Thomas.
Yeah, every time I visit London, somebody says, "You're the mayor of St. Thomas. I see you on the news all the time."
Yeah,
I didn't mean it. I didn't.
Yeah, I was just listening to CBC. I think it was this morning, and Etienne Borm,
right
out from Eppo, and just to the east here, he was talking about the tariffs and all that, and they called him as one of the experts to talk to.
And I've had that conversation. I had conversations about Terra today, and so 2 different press releases on that, and we'll talk about that when we get to the city agenda. But hey, anybody got any questions for the mayor of the city of St. Thomas? We've got an active night going here.
Jess, my wife, is letting everyone know that it's my birthday tomorrow. Thanks, Jess.
So will you be sharing your age with us, or will we have to cut you in half and count the rings?
No, 42. I'll be 42.
Okay. 42.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that happened. I
have socks that are 42. Okay.
Really? They last
older.
that long?
Yeah.
They're in the back of the drawer?
Yeah, they're in the back. And they're
what are they made of? Teflon?
Well, I don't wear socks in the summertime, so
they just last a really long time.
They just last a long time.
Oh, it was back when quality was quality,
Oh, yes. Candace, thank you for bringing that up, too. We've got so many provincial announcements happening, right? The London District Catholic School Board getting approval for a new high school in St. Thomas. The public school board was out here talking to us about a location for a high school in St. Thomas also this fall. So looks like we could really be moving forward. And we need to have these conversations earlier in life.
Yeah.
And I'm happy we're having it. But this looks like a guarantee that they have said, let's do it. Right?
The number of portables that we have built up in our community.
Right.
Like they started when I was there in high school, and then it was just kind of exploded since then.
Well, that was just simply to move you out of the school.
Yeah, well, they had to do something with me. They put me in drama class. We were very loud.
It's like, drama?
The portable.
What's the drama?
Yeah.
They really moved the drama class to a portable? That's almost bad.
It was pretty funny. It was like in the middle of the parking lot in Central, in like the little quad area.
Going out now.
Yeah.
I took drama in high school too. I love to act. I think I still do.
Yeah. So do you have any? Candace is asking, do you have any preference on where that school would go?
Yes, in St. Thomas. Look, we have St. Joe's in the deep south, right?
The deep south.
Well, as
Like
far
the
south
Texas
as
of
you
St.
can go
Thomas?
inside St. Thomas
Yeah.
almost. It's at the Fanshawe College site. So it almost has to be in the north. And I would suggest the northwest would make more sense as we're now starting to build housing up in the northwest.
Absolutely.
All right. So we better start looking. Is there actually a site maybe in that area 1 or 2 that could be used?
That's exciting.
For let's point it out to the Catholic School Board, because it's the London and District Catholic School Board. We'll have to explain St. Thomas to them when they come out.
Yeah, this is St. Thomas. Like,
did
wait,
I just
wait.
say that? That
They
was
just get
really
like
mean
lost
of me.
down here.
Yeah. Come visit St. Thomas. It's a 3-hour trip.
Yeah.
It's not.
We'll show you the sites. You get the elevated park. There's Jumbo. We got Dalewood. You know.
Yeah. Look, Candace, thank you for reminding. We've got lots of stuff going on, and I rushed in here with about a minute to spare tonight, so I wouldn't have remembered that one if you hadn't brought it up. So great.
Yeah, so much stuff going on.
So you're saying your daughter has been in a portable since grade 2. Yeah, and that's we just can't keep building new schools that have to open with portables on their ground. Right. We need to make better planning decisions about building it a little bigger than even needed right now, and let the school fill itself in. So that's just the mayor of St. Thomas's opinion, but he's a fairly loud guy who does things like that. So,
council, you had a big council meeting.
Oh, a lot of council stuff. So let me do this, and there's a bunch of things. The first thing was we had committed $3 million to the Tiny Hope project.
Yep.
So last night we solidified that, signed the agreement so that the money can transfer. And Lindsey Rice was there to talk about Tiny Hope. And through this year, through 2025 build, you'll start to see the rest of the houses at the back of what is Tiny Hope finish up. And there's a couple of duplexes and some big stuff back there that will all finish up. When it's finished, then people can move into those because the construction zone will all have moved to the front of the lot. Yep. And then the rest of the housing, the rest of the 40 tiny homes will be finished along with the
community center.
There's a center, community center.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you. So that was concluded last night. What else did we do? We bought a new snow plow and sidewalk, 2 sidewalk plowers and a big snow plow truck.
Love it.
To replace existing stock. Councillor Herbert said, "Hey, wait a second. What are you talking about here? Are is these new for the growth in our city?" And we said, "No, it's replacing the stock that's now getting to be obsolete." We also said yes to the use of the airport for a project that the YMCA is doing on June 13th. Write this one down. It has to come to special event still. Okay. But it's Run the One Runway. It's a fundraiser, a run or walk along one of our runways. You get to come out and pretend you're an airplane.
Oh, is that how it's going to work?
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, looking forward to that. June 13th, we'll look for that. All right. And the airport manager discussed it with us and how we could do it. And the YMCA asked me about it about 3 months ago. I threw it back to the airport management and said, "This sounds like fun, and it's done at much busier airports than ours. So let's see what we can do." We have a new road in Yarmouth Yards called the Technology Trail.
Yes.
Right. And we gave the tender award for it last night to complete that. Starting now, Amico could start on it.
Fantastic.
We figured, what the heck, we've got work to do. Let's get everything done. Get the tender awards out there. We passed the tender award for the St. Thomas Animal Shelter last night. It may have been one of the tightest tenders I've ever seen. I think there was $8,000 difference on a $4 million tender, so quite a small difference. Starts right now. Already discussions happening on how quick that the people who won the tender can get started. We want it opening late. We want it opening in 2025. So let's get going. Right, and then we did some other cleanup, what we call legislative updates. We're closing a piece of Centennial because of the where the roundabouts go, and that's not going to be there anymore. So we have to take it off the books as a road in the city.
Ooh.
Right? So never existed. It's a ghost town. We talked about some community grants for 2025. Seniors Picnic came and asked, and we love helping out the seniors with their picnic. And there was another one too.
Okay.
It's a figure skating festival that we said yes to as part of community grants.
Love it.
All right. A bunch of other flag raising stuff. Congenital Heart Disease Awareness Week. The Railway City Music and Arts Festival asked us to name them a significant event, which means they can serve alcohol at it. That's done. Some extra maintenance at the Memorial Garden on Moore Street, but also the Veterans Memorial Crosswalk.
Right.
We got a lot of input last year around Remembrance Day. Why don't we have a crosswalk that's just veterans related? We kind of handed it back to the Legion and said, is this something you want? And they said yes, so we're doing it. Right. But we've also asked them to pick the design. We want Legions and maybe the 31st the engineers to give us input on, because there's 4 or 5 designs we've seen. Almost each one that we've seen on social media, somebody says, well, you're not going to walk on the poppies, are you? You're not those types of things. So we're going to get good input from the Legion on that. Right. The next don't forget the Parks and Rec Master Plan and Aquatic Center Survey. You have till February 28th to do it. We're looking for your input. I filled out my survey today, and about 15 minutes in length to get through and say, I like this, here's what I use in our community. And it asks you some very simple questions as to what it works. Please go to the City of St. Thomas website, and you'll find the link to how to get to the survey. And then the last, and maybe, a couple of sad things, but I'll start off with Groundhog Day coming up Sunday out at Westlake Evans Park. We have a groundhog on the wall. We figure he'll be just as accurate as any groundhog anywhere else in the world at predicting an early spring or not. So come on out and join us. Dawn on Sunday is 7:08.
7:08.
So I'm going to get there about 6:45, just so as
6:45.
Yeah, so it's 20.
You're gonna be like there for 20 minutes before it rises.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll have my coffee. I'll be
okay.
All right.
Seems excessive.
I'll get there and see if we got to have crowd control. If we get this many people out there.
If I make it out there, I'm making it out there like 2 minutes before sunrise.
I'll expect that you'll help with the prediction because the sun is risen on your way in. And so that's Groundhog Sunday morning. February 2nd is Groundhog Day, and so we figure the same thing will just keep happening over and over and over. All day long. And then also in new business announced at council on last night was Councillor Tara McCauley has decided she'll resign from council. Now, I know we put out a press release today and we talked about it, and we shared some kind of sad moment last night about Tara leaving. She's been an integral part of this council doing some great big things. But after she joined council, she was offered a job also at the EBRC, the Elgin Business Resource Center. She's a fantastic business mentor, business advisor, and it's just becoming way too much work for her. Yeah. So we said, Tara, we're not losing you. You're still in our community, helping small business and helping the economy grow. So council now will be faced with in the next week or so. We get a report next Monday night at council as to what our options are as to how we can replace a councillor who has resigned. We kind of know what they are because we've been through this a little bit. And then in the subsequent weeks, we have 60 days in which to make our decision as to how we're filling the position. Tara, we're going to miss you, but I don't think we're going to miss her for long because next Tuesday, she's going to be on Mayor's Update with us.
She's joining us to talk about it.
Right. And I say how much she just liked the mayor, and that's why she left. No, that may not be the truth. Right?
It's going to be like the Jerry Springer of Mayor's Updates. Is this what you're saying?
What have we got for questions here?
We've got one here I want to bring up from Beth Douglas. She says, a big shout out to the St. Thomas Public Library for providing the great space for a new board game group for our community.
Great.
They had a great turnout last Friday. And their next gathering is this
Thursday.
Why would
anybody go if they're bored? Board games.
Board games.
Oh, okay. It's not spelled the same.
No, it's a little different.
Yeah. Okay.
Subtle difference.
Yeah.
So they've got another one on Thursday from 5:30 to 8 p.m. And I let her know. I shouted it out. I was going to try and have her be a call-in guest tonight because we have a whole call-in set up. Yeah. I didn't quite get it set up in time.
We're not there because Joe ran in at the last minute.
Fine.
Right. We're going to do call-ins soon. We're going to let you. We're going to try it. If it goes a little wild on us, we won't do it anymore. But
Yeah, no, it's going to be exciting. So she was going to be, and we'll find a way. When it happens, Beth, you're going to be our first call-in guest on the mayor's update. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you very much. We got some stuff from Dale. Are they doing Coldest Night of the Year fundraiser this year?
Yes. And I'm sorry, I don't have that in front of me, but Kyle and I talked about it from the Youth for Christ, that group. So I think it's coming up pretty soon, right? So we promise you we'll look it up and get back. But yes, they are doing it. And if you want to reach out to Youth for Christ or go to their website, I'm sure it will be on there. We've participated and we certainly have talked about it in previous years. So, what else we got?
Another question from Dale. He says he thinks he heard you say the city pays for cadets to attend police college. Why does the city pay for new cadets to attend the police college? If you want to be a cop, the cadets should pay for their own way to the police college. Any training after that, the city should cover, in Dale's opinion.
I love your opinion, but in most cases, we hire a cadet and then send them for their finishing schooling at the police college. Many of them have come to us with police foundation courses from any of our community colleges or other police forces. If they haven't gone to the Ontario Police College, you can't be a sworn constable till you have gone there. And so we tend to hire our cadets and then send them off. But I'll tell you the exchange, because I think right now we have about 8 senior officers near retirement who are on abscondment to the police college. They're there as instructors.
Right.
And because they're being paid their salary by the college, we can bring on new cadets. Right? And we have kind of a St. Thomas influence at the police college, which means if we're looking for police officers and there's some cadets going through, we might also have a chance of suggesting St. Thomas would be a great place to work.
Could just be a wonderful place.
It's part of the great training. And you see the cars from the police college driving around St. Thomas all the time. They do their urban training in St. Thomas. And so a friend of mine from Ottawa, who used to be my legislative assistant in Ottawa, just went through the police college. And it was neat to see Eric. I hadn't seen him in a few years, and he's becoming an OPP officer. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and loved going to college. And he said, okay, I know Joe's here someplace. I'll call him. All right.
We got a question from Candace in regards to the animal shelter.
Yes.
Any regrets in not passing that a year or two ago? Could have you saved millions of dollars?
Well, I mean, agreed. If we could break the municipal act, yes. But we had set aside a fixed budget for it. And when the tenders came in higher, we had to look in the budget. Did we have enough to do it? No, we didn't. So we had to wait till the next budget year to up the budget. Really good that we got it done this year. There was enough in the budget and the tenders came in to match that budget, or we would have gone through the same thing. That's just a great example of how expensive construction is becoming and how much more it saves us for us to get out early on tenders. We pass our budget early. And so who knows what that animal shelter would cost midsummer in a tender when every community is out there doing tenders for buildings. So I get your point. We 5 years ago tried to remodel the shelter, wasn't enough money. We put more money in, wasn't enough. We finally said, let's build a new one. Tender came back way more than it was worth. So it's taken us this 4 years to get to where 2025 we're building the new animal shelter. And we share that shelter with a number of communities around us too. So we all know it's well needed, and we'd be really happy to get that space back in our works yard that is currently the animal shelter. Right? I keep driving around. I've got a bunch of dog food in the back of my car from when Jojo passed. I've got a bunch of senior dog food. And I pulled into the shelter one day, but they were all out on calls. And so, okay, I got to make my way back up to Burwell to hand off all this dog food I had. And that's another great thing to think of. If you lose a pet or something, our shelter could use what you have. Right. So please use, and other animal agencies in town too. It doesn't have to be our shelter, but I wish it was.
There's a follow-up question from Candace about the police officers.
Yes.
And once those fees are paid, is there any commitment on their behalf to St. Thomas for any amount of years?
By the length of service we have, you have to, I don't think. And honestly, if you start a new job, there's going to be some of you that's a year or two in are going to say, no, it's not for me. But we don't have much turnover. It's a great job. And our team is really, we've got a lot of people with 20-year service and stuff. I mean, it's
Yeah.
St. Thomas is a great place to be a police officer, but I never thought of that, Janice. I mean, should we be hooking them in, right? We'll talk about that if we get to the physician recruitment. We're talking about how do we recruit doctors here and how do we make them, if we do a financial incentive for them to come here or some other incentive for them to come here, how do we make sure they stay and how do they pay it back? So there are some jobs where we have to do that. Yeah.
We have a roads question in from Adam Montgomery.
Great.
If you're on Highway 3 and you're traveling east towards the new roundabout, there's a portion where that road drops down to 60 kilometers an hour. It seems fairly early.
Okay.
And he's wondering why that's happening. It doesn't seem to be
Could
required.
because you're coming up on a curve that's a roundabout. I mean, speed limits on most of the roundabouts are 15, and the double roundabout maybe more. So it could be that, but I don't know. I'd have to. So if I'm coming from the east,
you're coming from the west, traveling east.
from the west,
it does drop down to 60 like fairly quickly, and then you're kind of like you're traveling at 60
where you would have come off Highway 3 onto Centennial, right? So it would have gone to 60, so that you're slowing down to make a right angle turn onto Centennial. Now it's a roundabout. Actually, it's 2.
So it's slow, man. They pushed that 60 kilometers way back further.
I'll have to
west.
look. It was pretty close to First Ave anyway, I think, to start getting the slowing down. But I'll ask. It's a great.
And maybe
great
we just
question.
didn't slow down before. Maybe.
Oh, that was just
maybe
it.
the signage is better now.
I'm still on a separate.
I'm on a highway.
Yeah. Did we get them all?
We've got some notes in from Sue. She's saying sorry for your loss for JoJo.
JoJo, yeah. We thought the puppies would miss her more than they do.
Yeah,
they did at the beginning, but now they've got each other, so that worked.
Yeah.
But Stephanie and I still occasionally see her. I drop a black pillow on the floor or something, and I go, "Oh, that's JoJo," and it's not. So I think it takes a while to get used to a pet that's 14 years old leaving you. But yeah, it is.
Yeah, and
thank you for the sympathy. Yeah,
it's before Burwell that it drops by down.
Right.
So that's the.
That's a good distance. So I'm going to ask. I'll ask engineering.
And I noticed it as well when I was driving into.
Well, because you drive like
I drive a lot on that road. I'm not like a maniac.
You're forever out there filming roundabouts.
Back and forth.
Can we do another?
But I was like,
wow, roundabouts.
We're going to do one with the police services because we need to teach people how to drive.
On a roundabout. Yes.
There was this one picture.
Like we did with the crosswalks. You did a great job with the crosswalks. Yeah.
Thank you. I love that video.
Yeah.
But it's a roundabout. And here's one that people don't know, and I'm going to explain it. It's like you got the roundabout, right? And you got a car, and the car is coming in here, right? Yeah. And you got another car that's here. And in the diagram that the person drew, they said, what's stopping that person from just driving in front of this other car? And the thing that's stopping them is that they should be stopping because they don't have the right of way.
Right.
So that car gets to
the one in the roundabout has the right of way. Anybody approaching from one of the arms of a roundabout looks and goes to their left.
Yep.
Not across, but looks to their left. Hey, there's a car coming. So you know what stops them from going out? You're going to drive in front of a car. Come on, use your head.
This is on the St.Thomas happening. So I was like, I don't know how to how to make this
can't
more
help you any more than that. Right?
But I think that I can understand where they're coming from. I was like, you just don't drive in front of them.
Right.
And they're like, what's going to stop them? Because honestly, a stop sign doesn't really stop someone from driving in front of you either. I mean, it's the rules of the road.
I get it.
That's why I'm looking forward to that.
So
Beehive.
please,
that's going to be a great one.
Can I be the bad driver? I'm going to go out there and do all the things I've seen on a roundabout.
Use some really funny car. Yeah. We're going to get a funny car.
Get one of those, those little cars. And
the one, the Herbie car, or or Mr. Bean, the 3-wheeler.
Yeah, I like it. All right, what else do we got? Yeah, I've seen Grayden doing 120K on the highway. Yeah.
No, those days are behind me. I'm an old man now, almost 42.
Oh, no, and he's got children, and so when they're in the car, I know he doesn't do that. But, and if Jess is in the car, he ain't doing that.
No.
All right, so we got them all. We got them all covered today. Great. Let's. What else do we have?
We got a question in from Adam here. He's wondering if we can put a ramp in on that roundabout so we can do Dukes of Hazzard, Ontario style.
That's what some people think, and some people think we put artwork in the middle of the roundabouts to prevent that. No, you're not to be looking across a roundabout when you come to it. Some of the subdivision ones we've had to put shrubs and stuff in just because we can't put artwork in at all. But our community art group has done quite a good job of picking artwork out for the roundabouts. We get a lot of conversation and compliments from people visiting our community saying, you put artwork everywhere. You've got murals everywhere. Right?
Yeah.
I like being told that we're pretty.
Yeah,
right?
we're very pretty.
Yeah.
We're very pretty.
I think the community is, And I wanted to thank the snowplow and sidewalk plows and all those guys. I know we bought them some new equipment this week, but we've had a weird winter and a lot of snow. And I want to say it's been great this year.
It's been wonderful.
How quick they get to road clearing and sidewalk.
They're very fast.
Yeah.
Quite rapid.
Yeah. Are you having too much fun today? Are you still talking about your driving?
Love Adam's questions. All right. I'm just going to have another drink here. Okay, keep the conversation going.
Yes. Anyway, the next one was, you love that we're talking about a rec center. Well, we need to talk about a rec center, and that's it. But I don't want to only talk about it. I have my views of what taxpayers can do and can't do. Mm-hmm. But my understanding is we've had a lot of response to the survey, both the Parks and Rec Master Plan and the Rec and Aquatic Center survey. So keep them coming in. I think we have an IP limit on it. You can't do the survey more than once. We want to make sure we're not having anybody load the ballot box, but let's keep getting it, right?
Absolutely. Candace wants to talk more about my driving. Sometime I'll take you out for a ride, Candace. I'll show you my driving. It's really good.
Yeah. Well, and Dale asked us about name the snowplow. There's some other city that did that.
I've been pushing for that. So,
and we talked about it on here.
Snowy McSnowface.
Yeah, right. Okay. So start sending in your. Apparently, Grayden's the one doing the judging on the.
I will judge all the names harshly,
and we will get it to our Public Works Department, whether they'll put the names on or not. And remember, there's sidewalk plows too, so they have to be like mini
Snowy McSnowface Jr.
Yeah. So please, let's get your answers in here.
Yeah, right? My favorite's that town in Scotland. You can watch all the funny names of the snowplows going around. Well, we pulled that up one year. Yeah, if we can do it.
I like doing it, but
I really want to do it. I'm a big fan. Establish
media I want a city employee job to be snowplow names.
No, we'll handle it. I'll handle it. Send them into the established media. Okay. I will compile a list of the best names.
Okay.
Chatham did, Beth Douglas is saying.
Oh, Chatham. So they're single syllable. So no, I didn't say that about Chatham. It's my place of birth. Wow. I didn't say anything bad about Chatham. Okay, so let's name some snowplows. Let's get some names in here or to establish media.
Yes, absolutely.
Right,
I'm in.
Please do it. And look. We've got free hamburgers for prizes for naming snowplows.
Okay, done.
Right, so
hamburgers for plows.
Right.
Names.
Right.
Sue's saying, are the people who are tendering the animal shelter done other shelters? Have they done other shelters, or will a plan be submitted regarding cages, etc.?
An RFP went forward as to what it is we're building. Mm-hmm. We also talked last night about further sponsorships, about naming certain kennel areas or certain areas in the shelter as another way of fundraising. So we'll have a lot more detail out about that in the next little while. Mm-hmm. Right.
Candace is apparently from Chatham as well.
Wow, just smart people from Chatham, and Stephanie's from Merlin, which is also in Kent County.
Okay.
So
got to work on your apostrophes there, Candace. It's yours. Y-O-U apostrophe.
Wow, grammar here
R-E,
tonight.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, if you're going to submit a funny name for a snowplow, you better put it in the right grammar.
I hope it's that's funnier if it's not correct.
Okay, all right, perfect. So we're having fun tonight.
I'm good friends with Candace. Hopefully she takes that well.
No. She takes it all.
Maybe we're not friends. I don't know.
That's it.
But appreciate the comments. Appreciate the views.
She's a photographer, so we can't be negative.
No.
Negative.
Yeah,
no. Nobody knows negatives anymore.
Well, it doesn't. We don't use negatives anymore. It's all digital.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Dale says he's from his mother, not Chatham.
Yeah.
So
okay.
There you go. Okay.
I got it.
Yeah. Appreciate that. All right.
We're just seeing if we missed any.
We're scrolling the comments.
Real good questions.
I think we got all of them. And reminder on the board games night that's coming up on Thursday. Talk to the library for details.
I have another point on the Highway 3.
Yep.
It's MTO, not us.
Yeah, totally MTO.
So they set the speeds too, I think.
Yeah, they're a bit crazy sometimes.
Okay, so I'll have to ask,
in my opinion,
MTO, how did they come up with that?
Yeah. How did they determine that?
I realize that's not the city of St. Thomas now.
Mm-hmm. Marco Rodriguez Hernandez. He says, thank you for answering your.
About the intercity bus.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. We found the third name and we put it out there, and we told people where they can catch each one, and we're trying to work some more magic with more runs to out of St. Thomas to London, and we talked about how we can add regional transportation to the rest of Elgin County. We hope to.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's got another question. You can ask it anytime, Marco. We're at the end of this show, though.
No.
But join us next week and throw it on there, or fire me a message, and we'll add it to our
We
queue.
had a time already.
Yeah, we're overtime.
Holy cow!
I know.
I got to learn to talk faster.
Yes.
You just laughed the whole show.
I'm just glad to be recovered from my week from the depths of that domain below the earth.
I know we're past, but how many other people did this that I did once last week? Go out the door and go, nope, not today. It was just so cold. The hair in my nose froze, so I went back in and worked from my desk at home till it got a little warmer out. Right?
Yeah, totally.
And I'm sure I'm not the only person.
Oh, I'm there, 100%. I didn't even want to go tonight, but we got Mayor's update. You got to do what you got to do.
No, got to do. I rushed from the physician symposium. So we're looking at how better ways to attract family doctors. And we came up with some great examples, one from BC and others from Ontario, and other things we're already doing well. So we'll keep trying.
Bing, bam, boom. All right. Thanks to everyone for joining us. We'll have a great show for you next week. We got Tara McCully. She's absolutely fantastic. She's going to share all the details for everything you want to know. We can't wait to have her on here. And she's going to talk about what she's planning for the future, which I'm sure is very exciting. Can't wait to hear about it. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.